Canadian Flag Jello, perfect for Canada Day.
Let's see what's cooking. It's time for yoyomax12.
Hello everyone, starting off with the red Jello first. In this large mixing bowl is 6 packages of cherry Jello. Now if you want to use another kind of Jello, you could use strawberry or raspberry. You also need 2 envelopes of gelatin, unflavored gelatin. That's about 1/2 ounce. Then you're going to add 6 cups of boiling water and stir until there's no more gelatin lumps that are floating in that. Then you're going to pour 4 cups of that into a 9 by 13 inch baking dish, and I have very lightly greased it with a little tiny bit of cooking spray. And then you're going to let this set in the refrigerator. In the meantime, place 2 envelopes of gelatin in a small bowl. Add 1/2 cup of cold water. Stir that around until mostly dissolved, and then let it sit. In another bowl, place 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. To that, you're going to add 1 cup of boiling water and stir that together until it is nicely combined. Then you're going to take that gelatin mixture that you had before, and you're going to add to that 1/2 cup of boiling water. Stir that together until the gelatin is completely dissolved and you can kind of see to the bottom of the bowl. Then pour it into the sweetened condensed milk mixture and give that a stir and set that aside. We'll need that next. Now here is the red Jello that's set. Now what you're going to have to do is cut out sections of this red Jello, and I'm using a ruler just to provide a straight edge. Now the Canadian flag has 2 red stripes, a white portion in the middle, and then the maple leaf in the center. So what I tried to do was use a cookie cutter that I was going to use to cut out the red, just to decide on how wide I should make that center portion, and then I removed it. And I did the same thing for the other side. Okay, this gets a little bit tricky here because I actually make a mistake. Now what I wanted to do was put 2 flags side by side. So where the 2 stripes touch in the center, it needs to be twice the thickness. So as you can see here, I had that 1 stripe in the center, but it actually needs to be twice that thickness because we're going to end up with 2 flags. So each flag has to have 2 red stripes on either side. So what I did is I just cut a piece of the Jello that I had removed and put it right back in. So as you can see, I put that cookie cutter back in and it didn't quite fit well, so I just sliced off a piece of Jello. In the description box below, I'm going to provide you with approximate measurements of each of these stripes if you use a 9 by 13 inch pan, and that way you'll have an idea of how thick or how thin to make these stripes. So ultimately you need 3 stripes in your pan. The one in the center should be about twice the thickness as the one on the edges. Now we're going to take that white Jello mixture that we made, and you're going to pour it into those empty spaces. I wasn't sure if I was going to use all of the white, but I ended up pouring almost all of it into these spaces. It did overflow a little when I picked it up and moved it to put it in the refrigerator to chill, but that's okay because as you'll see, the nice side of the flag will be on the bottom of the pan. So once you've allowed the white portion to firm up in the refrigerator, it's going to take about 1/2 hour or so. I took a maple leaf shaped cookie cutter. I greased it with a little bit of cooking spray and then just pressed it into the Jello. I pressed it firmly to try to get nice crisp lines, and then I pulled it out and it actually came out fairly cleanly. If you allow the Jello to set properly, it shouldn't be a problem. And as you can see, I'm going to end up with 3 flags here, one on top of the other. And you can even hold on to these little pieces. Those will be good to eat as well. Now for that leftover red that you have, you're going to pour it into the spaces you made with the cookie cutter for the center part of the flag. And I was a little bit careless when I was pouring into here. But as I mentioned before, the pretty side of the flag is going to be on the bottom. So if you do spill a little, it's not the end of the world. Allow that to set in the refrigerator. It's going to take another half hour or so to firm up. I wouldn't rush this part. Make sure your Jello is completely set before you try to lift these out of the pan, or they will fall apart. So gently lift them out of the pan and place them onto a serving plate. And you can add some fresh strawberries and some whipped cream to this, and it would make a really nice Canada Day dessert. And there they are. I was really happy with the way these turned out. The red does bleed a little into the white around the edges, but overall it was awesome. And I ended up with 6 flags in one pan. Now you most certainly can make these smaller. The trick is to find a smaller maple leaf shaped cookie cutter to cut out that center portion. Hope you give this one a try. I do hope that you get a chance to celebrate Canada Day this year. And if you're looking for some great desserts to serve at a party, go ahead and check out my Canada Day dessert playlist. Go ahead and click right on your screen or see the links in the description box. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.